Eric and Will are
The Average Podcast. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Average Podcast. Will here with Eric, Chris, and Vinny. We got an excellent show for you today. On the docket, we've got should college athletes be paid? Our March Madness picks. Side note, they're terrible. Got a great roast for you upcoming, and we're going to end with a pretty big topic, the CIA Vault 7 leaks. So let's jump right into it with do you guys think college athletes should get paid?
No.
No, I do not.
What do you think, Chris?
Go on, you two. I'm gonna choose by the points proven.
No. What do you think?
You gotta say what you
I really
think
don't
first.
know. I honestly have no opinion one way or the other at this point.
All right.
Because I
Well,
understand why they should get paid, but I understand why they shouldn't get paid.
right.
I understand.
So
Okay.
I want to hear why they shouldn't, so I could see if I
Go
can
ahead,
make a
Vinny.
counter
Go
argument.
ahead.
Yeah, sure. So it's a topic. I mean, this is pretty relevant only for like Division I athletes. If you're D2 or D3, it shouldn't be a question. You should not get paid. Like it's pretty much just following up a
Right.
hobby in college.
Right.
I think. My main thing is everyone is at college to further into a career. Well, you'll get paid. No one's getting paid in college, to learn. You don't
Either.
see the guy trying to major in finance getting paid.
Well, you
most
kind
of
of
those
do
guys-
if you get scholarships.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you get
That's like
scholarships,
basically
that's
getting
getting
paid.
What's okay?
That's-
I'm talking like paid in a career aspect.
Yeah.
You're getting paid in scholarships because you earned that. All right, those
Mhm.
student athletes are already there on
They earned
scholarship.
it, though. Yeah, they
Yeah,
earned
they
it.
did earn it. Yes, but that should be it. Their scholarship should cover that. They shouldn't be getting extra accolades
Right.
because more than likely those Division I athletes are probably going to go on an NFL team or whatever.
Exactly.
Not
Most.
even an NFL team. They'll progress into that professional
yeah,
sport.
most college athletes, most of them don't even graduate. It's a very few, slim number that actually graduate from college. They usually go into the draft early, or
Well, most of them don't make it to the draft. Isn't it like maybe like 5% of college football athletes make it
Well,
actually make it
past
into the
the draft.
NFL?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's pretty low. But I mean, anybody can go. I mean, if you're in college, I mean, pretty much anybody can go to the draft and try out, or you can walk on a team, But you have
That's
to be,
true.
like the best of the best. But I don't think they should be paid because, like Vinny said, like you're getting scholarships and you're getting a college education pretty much free, and room and board and tuition and fees and books. There's a lot of shit that
Yeah.
goes into
You get my
college.
My cousin was a D1 athlete for golfing, and you get room and board, you get travel expenses, you get
Oh yeah,
scholarships, you get private tutors, like you get the whole
Exactly.
9 yards.
a lot of
You
people don't
way
get that.
more. Yeah,
A lot
you
of
get
people
way
don't
more
get
than the average student, and it's
Right.
unbelievable. Like, I mean, and granted, if they go to the pros, their guaranteed salary is at least $500,000. They make
Very
500,000 if you're on the practice squad, even.
Right, they get paid.
I
a
mean,
lot.
that's way more of a pretty penny than most people will ever see in their lifetime. So
Mhm.
it's just very redundant for them. I mean, and don't get me wrong, like they do 4 times as much work as I do in college. It is not easy being a Division I athlete, but they're putting in all that work in hopes that they go to the professional teams.
that's their payout is
But
to continue that career in their profession. You know what I mean? Like they can't say, oh, I should just get paid, but then in 2 years when I'm a senior, I'm gonna get hurt or I'm gonna stop playing. So you just got paid and got to go to college for free. Like what's
here's your
No,
counter
it's
argument, though. There's people who become Division I athletes that come from poor or poverty-stricken areas, and they can't afford to go work because they're putting so much time and effort into both school and their sport
but
so
they're
much
getting-
that they can't get a job.
they're
And
getting
then
free
what-
education?
Yeah, but they don't have
But
they
what-
don't have to pay
they have
for
no
the
money.
school then,
Yeah, they don't have any money to go like go and like. I'm just saying like, oh well, I have to get a car to drive
They-
around places.
They can
or-
accept deals in college, but it removes
no,
your
they-
scholarship.
Yeah, but you can't accept. Why would you do that then? You can't really accept deal. That's what I'm saying. Like you should you get paid or can you accept deals? And I know you're getting paid in scholarship and whatnot, but what happens if you actually need money? What are you gonna do?
Also, I mean, another point. I mean, that's true too. But I was thinking, like, not every sport like, could the college even afford to pay for all the sport? I mean, only really two sports are big in college. And it's football and basketball.
That's
That's
true.
so
You'd have to
like,
pay
you think-
every
Baseball's
sport.
pretty big. And
Well, baseball as well.
Sort of,
not
but
as,
it's not
as big as
it's
the
not
other
as big.
two.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not as big, and it doesn't bring in the revenue where they're making millions of dollars for one game. I get that side. Like the colleges are making a lot of money, like a Rose Bowl or like some sort of like one big event that's like televised and sponsored and all this stuff. They're getting a lot of
Yeah.
money for that, and I can see why. Maybe like I think it should be like if your team or if your team does end up doing really well and they go on to the playoffs or the championship game or whatever, because they just implemented the playoffs in college football now. But if you were to do that, I feel like if you were to win, then yeah, you should offer the athletes, some sort of that revenue, because it's right. I said it's just so much money involved. So
yeah, but that goes right back in the program anyway, so that they
Exactly.
can give away for scholarships. And but I'm just saying is that
exactly,
we
it
don't
shouldn't be-
really know
shouldn't be paid.
because think about this. We have jobs. Like we go out and we work, and then we go to school, and like we have and then we study ahead.
Not
home.
every
Like,
college kid has a
Well,
job.
like-
though.
But I'm
I-
saying is that we do.
I would
for the
assume that a college athlete, their job is to play this. Like their
Yeah.
sport
Exactly.
is their
Work out.
job.
But
Yeah, that
but
is-
that's the whole thing. Should they get paid to do their job? Like we get paid to do our jobs.
Well, if they're gonna get paid, then they shouldn't get scholarships.
Yes.
I've never played college sports or anything, but I've played high school sports, and I know from at least my experience that the time it's hard to find time to manage school, work, and a fucking practice and games. It's a lot, and I couldn't imagine
Yeah.
at the college level that's
I
gonna
was gonna
be
say
even-
the college level is like way
Right.
more intense than high
exactly.
school.
So how they really don't have time. I feel like they're not going to have time for a job, regardless if you're coming
that's
from
what-
a poor family or not. You're still
But
going to school
I'm
for
saying
free.
poor family because if you're like more of like a middle income class, like instead of like your family paying for tuition or whatever, they can give you probably a lump sum of cash to survive on a semester
Right.
for food
Okay.
and stuff.
Here's the opposite side of that. I picked Michigan State just because I know it's a big school for both football and basketball.
There you go. Yeah.
Out of state tuition is almost $50,000 a year.
Oh yeah, it's the most expensive school. And,
So they're essentially getting paid $50,000 a year, and then some to play the sport.
yeah,
Yeah, the money's not going back to their pocket, but they're not paying $50,000 a year to go. Like, if
And
they're
that's
gonna
a
get
slim
paid, then they
amount.
shouldn't. They'd have to split it fairly. Every player,
Right.
regardless of if he plays, is gonna get
of
money.
how good, right?
But there
Not
are
every-
players out there
not
that
ev-
don't get food. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't get to eat as well because they don't have
If they
money.
go to the school and they're in the school and they have the tuition, the school pays for the food.
The school should,
They're guaranteed
they have
a meal
Guaranteed
plan.
the meals. Outside
Yeah.
of school, that's a totally different story.
Right.
They should
actually-
maybe they get a job
if
for
they're
the summer.
getting-
But
Hold
that's-
on, not. Let's also put it this way: there's some student athletes that do not have a scholarship, and that is still their job.
That's usually walk-ons though.
But still, and sometimes those players
Right.
can make it, and guess what? Do they just starve because they don't get the
Pretty
extra
sure they
money?
I'm pretty sure they get scholarship money. For
get scholarships
if
from
they're
being
good
other like,
enough,
smart
they'll get
in school.
scholarship money for it.
Yeah, they'll find a scholarship some way.
They'll
you're not
find
gonna just.
money for the student. That's the
And
thing.
even if you're not, like, if you're not getting a scholarship, you wouldn't be like, "Hey, I'm gonna join the football team because I have all this money I'm paying for school and I have all this free time." Like, no, that's not how it works. Like most, like 80% of the kids are on the team. They're usually out of high school playing all through high school, and they're there because they're D1 level,
yeah, they got signed to that school.
right?
Yeah.
Because this colleges, they want to be the best, and they only want the best kids because they are the future athletes in the professional leagues. No matter if it's football or basketball or baseball. So that's where they have this. Because I think they have like clubs, and I mean you can join a club, but it's like not as.
Oh, yeah, and,
vigorous.
I'm just trying to make a case for why they should get paid, and I think one
Alright.
other case is that I know that they're getting free scholarship money, they're getting free tuition and whatnot. But think about this: but if they really are making that $500,000 right into it, and then they do go on and start making a lot more money, like they could just pay it off, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Well,
would they
like-
be able to make that much? Because
that's a
you
that's a
can't-
hard.
if
Assumption.
just football on its own,
Yeah, I know it's a very hard assumption.
you
I
got
know,
like
but I'm
20,
just saying
like what
in general.
20-ish people on there.
Football team.
No, Wait,
got
football
more,
team?
like,
No, way more.
way
Probably
more than
60.
50.
50, 60. Okay.
on a roster, yeah.
If you're paying the athletes, you have to pay all of those athletes regardless of if they play. So
Right.
take the 2 or 3 million you make off a game, put the money back into you have to put money back into upkeep for the stadium. You have to put money back into the program. You have to pay the coaches, the referees,
Right.
transportation.
just like
to
any
get the
NFL
students
team.
out there. Yeah, but the NFL makes a lot more money than
It's more of a bigger
student athletes
worldwide than just one college,
And-
in Missouri or
Well,
something.
The
Alabama
NFL
makes a lot of money.
Yeah, but the NFL pays for the team, the stadium, and transportation. That's pretty much it. You know, if it's
Which is a lot of money.
if Alabama makes the money, you have to pay out the scholarships, which
Wait, you say NFL pays for the stadium?
I'm assuming some of the money goes back
No.
into the upkeep for the stadium.
That's tax dollars that go into stadium, dude.
Well,
And that's the thing. There's more.
Most of the tax dollars go into stadium
Right,
stuff.
but there's more colleges in a state than there are a football team, like NFL football
That
teams.
is true. No, that is
So,
true.
You can't be like, hey, we're gonna ask the tax dollars to pay for this college out of fucking buck nowhere.
Well, if the big
You
state
know?
schools, you can because
Sure, I mean, yeah, but that's the
that's
other
why
thing.
that's
If
what I'm
you,
going make
if
it
you
to a big
have-
state school. 'Cause those are Division Ones usually.
oh yeah, exactly.
Okay, so then,
but if
so
but if
the
that's the case,
sorry,
I'm sorry. Yeah, damn you, Will.
if
You
the
got me going on this.
NFL, if the NFL if the stadiums are okay, so that's more money than the NFL makes. So, there's not feasibly enough money to be like, all right, we have 60 kids on the football team, each of them gets paid. It's cheaper to give them scholarships. It's better to give them scholarships.
Right.
If you
Oh,
pay
yeah,
them, you have
what
to
I'm
cut the
saying-
scholarships.
It's way cheaper for them to give them scholarships.
Right.
It
And the
probably
only-
also lowers the cost of going to the school in general too,
Right.
because you're
Oh, yeah,
essentially
well, they're-
subsidizing the school with it.
School tuition. But the thing is, what I was kind of going back to what Chris was saying was, if you're gonna you can't compare like a D1 school to D3 or D2, because then once one school starts paying their athletes, then
Everybody
other
else has
schools
to.
gonna want
Yeah,
to
you have
start
to pay
paying.
all of them.
Yeah,
it's
and
gonna
I
be
thought we were just
ridiculous.
going off the argument of D1 schools, not the other ones, because Vinny was bringing up like D1
Well,
schools.
Well,
We can do that
D2
too.
He
and
said that
D3
D2 and 3 can't pay them.
I know they can't because it's just not.
Okay, but still,
Economically
D1, then
feasible.
D1, all the D1 schools would then start having to pay their students, regardless of even if they are really big or not. I mean, and that's going to be for every athlete, not just football.
yeah.
So that's a lot of money.
And here's the thing too. So like you shouldn't. So we brought up the point that not everyone. There's a potential not everyone goes out, and plays a professional sport. However, the whole reason you're at college is to get a degree. After those guys' careers in sports, they're at least guaranteed they spent their time at the university. They go out with a degree, so they actually have a job. You know what I mean? They're not just leaning on the fact that, okay, I played sports, I should be getting paid this. Well, they have to go work in the real world if they're not going to go do professional sports. That's kind of the backbone of, and at least in my
Right.
opinion, why they shouldn't be getting paid.
Right.
Because somehow, some way, no matter who leaves that school, is guaranteed a paycheck, pretty much, whether a professional sport or a career.
Unless they get a bogus major.
Right. But like I said, they don't
sports
most of them don't
management.
graduate. Most of them don't graduate, though. That's the other
Yeah,
thing.
there are a lot that don't graduate.
But here's why I think also another good reason why they shouldn't be paid is because, I mean, when you watch college football, it's a lot different than watching an NFL football game, because you got guys who are way more passionate because they want to go on to that professional
Love of the
level.
sport. Yeah.
Right. They're not doing it for the money. They're doing it just because they love football. Even if they don't go on to professional level, they're still having fun, because like a lot of guys, they just love football. Some guys are just born into it, and or whatever the sport is. I don't know why I'm just keep bringing up football, but
It's the most
they're not getting
popular,
paid to-
pretty much.
right, they're not
Yeah,
getting
that's a
paid to
good
do it. They're not getting paid for it. They're doing it because they're passionate about it. So
Yeah. I mean, we circumvented this a lot around football, but this applies for all sports in college.
Right.
I probably should just throw that out.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true, because you get lesser sports not lesser as in they're not good sports,
Bad,
but
yeah,
things
like
that
tennis.
they don't bring in
Popular.
the views. Yeah, like softball or
Ultimate frisbee.
ultimate frisbee. That's a big one
Right.
now.
It's
Uh,
getting
college
bigger.
it
Yeah, I
is.
know.
in college,
Uh,
Even
The
professional
Harry Potter
weightlifting.
game.
Quidditch.
Quidditch is now. There's a Quidditch league.
They got weightlifting teams. They got Quidditch. They got ultimate frisbee. They got softball. Like you said. I mean.
Yeah, I think it's easier to just not to be like, because they're not gonna pull from like the football and basketball income and be like, well, you guys now have to pay for all the other sports too because you're the ones that make money.
And here's the thing though, because baseball and hockey, you can enter the draft right out of high school if you want.
Yeah,
that's true. You can.
That's why a lot of those guys don't go off to college or whatnot. But like
really
basketball and football, they kind of eliminated that, saying you have to go to college. So.
But I feel like in college with those sports, you get more of a.
There's not as much minor leagues.
I mean, you get more. What's the word I'm looking for? Like not really.
No, Will's right.
Outreach.
Will's right.
You get more
minor leagues.
Right.
There's just less minor leagues. You totally
There's
name me a minor league in football other than the
football.
Arena Football League.
Well, like minor league football is Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
So,
It's Canada.
Basketball has China.
I mean, you go to college to play these sports, so you get this not really networking, but like you get the ability to showcase your ability at a higher level. Whereas like college, because like Chris said, the high school thing with hockey players, you couldn't relate that to every other sport because like it's bigger at certain schools compared to just high school.
That's true.
And that's the other thing, like
be more popular in like Minnesota than Florida.
Yeah. And who's going to be? Here's my other thing. Here's the question then: who pays the athletes? The school or the NCAA? Like,
oh, that's a good point. Yeah,
you wouldn't really know.
It would probably have to be the school, but
right.
How do you fairly divvy up that?
You can't.
Or it would come from taxes or something.
I get the idea. Okay, so I get the idea. I get the idea of paying for college athletes because it's not something that everybody can do. Like everybody can manage that, and they always say it's hard to be, and it is hard to be a student athlete, but you can't really. It's I can see now both sides, but I'm still saying they shouldn't be paid. Just for the argumental side, they shouldn't.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, it's not a fair way to really split it up and make it fair. Like I said, you can't fairly make it for every single sport. And there's so many that are in the college league or whatever like that. Like Chris said, with weightlifting and Quidditch and ultimate frisbee,
right?
You just can't do it. There's just no way. And then who pays for it? Because the NC, I mean, how do you make it fair? Sorry, there's an issue going on Chris's side, and he's letting us know about it.
We're having a little technical difficulty here.
Little wash.
I'll bring up another point then. I'll bring up a point about why you could pay. What would be a beneficial side of paying an athlete, because that technically could keep them in school. If you think about it, I mean, that's some
true.
of these kids drop out of school, but it's like if you're getting paid to do that, then wouldn't you want to stay and just keep doing it?
Yeah. So like if Chris brought up a good point, less fortunate people, right? And the most struggle in college comes financially, right? So let's say you've got 4 years at a university, that's your scholarship. 4 years you play on the team, right? Well, year one you get hurt. You tear your Achilles heel, you're done. You can't. Your Achilles is never the same. You're not the same athlete. At least at 3 years, because some schools will pull your scholarship. If it's a wasted player, they'll pull your scholarship.
Yeah, but
right?
they don't do 100% sports scholarships for things like that. They
right.
usually I think they have to do some academics. Yeah.
Yes. Well, okay, so that's fair. I
mean, don't the athletes have to like maintain a certain GPA?
I think they have to maintain a B average, which is a 3.0. Like it's between 2.5 and 3.0, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
But we know better than that. That it's not. I hate to sound like that guy, but sometimes, if you know that guy's gonna be like a professional athlite, you'll have the tutors.
Oh, yeah, you got a lot of people.
Yeah, dude, they take how to spell cat 101. You give them a bunch of BS classes and you give them a BS degree and they pass just so that the school says that they passed, and then they're like, here's my degree in sports philosophy.
or the teacher will know that you're a really good athlete or something important
Yeah,
to
and
the team, and the coaches
easy for you.
will be like, hey, like give him just give him an A or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of bogus. That is kind of bogus.
Everyone in the class has a 12-page paper. Ted, you're the star quarterback. Please write
Forget
3
about it.
sentences on why you love pudding.
Yeah, that's a very good point there.
I mean, it happens. It doesn't happen
No,
at every school, but I'm
No,
sure.
it doesn't. We know that, though.
I'm sure that there's some schools that loosen the chains a little bit.
Probably Alabama. Honestly, it doesn't take a lot to get into that school, but it's a great Division I football team. So,
Right.
all right. Well,
And on Bama note, let's talk about sportsball.
This is going to be the average podcast NCAA March Madness bracket. Our
We'll
company-
post a full bracket on our Facebook page
You can check it
when
out.
we actually decide
To do it.
to put one all together between the 4 of us.
Oh, we got a Final Four. That's
That's
cool
what
enough.
matters.
All right, so who starts off with their pick from their division?
Why don't we just do East, Midwest, South, and then
Yeah.
or West and South? We'll just
All right.
start with the
Oh,
East.
why don't we explain how we divided it up, so that way it's not just like why did that one person only pick one person or one
Sure.
team?
I'll explain it.
Thank
Honestly, the average podcast doesn't know shit about March Madness. So
This year.
there's four. There's 4 of us, and there's 4 divisions. So we said, let's divvy it up and see where it goes.
Hey, but some of our listeners might not either, so that's
That's
also a thing.
That's
So
true.
I mean, they
They're
can
in it.
they
It's
can
also a thing.
that's also they can also listen to that and kind of just kind of go with it. You know what? We pick teams because we like the name of the school or where it was
Yeah.
located.
Maybe you got some family that went there. You're just like, yeah,
Or just
they're
pick the top
probably good.
seeds. Yeah, we'll just
Yep.
pick the top seeds.
This.
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to start? Who's the East?
Eric, go ahead and give us your East Division pick.
All right, so my East Final Four pick is going to be Duke.
Ooh.
Good old Duke.
Should have picked Wisconsin because they're pretty good sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know anything
Alright.
about them this year. I know one year I picked them to win and they won, and that's
They're
I've
good.
been riding
They're-
off
they're
that
good.
coattail for a while now.
I think they're just decent this year, if I do remember correctly. They're only like the 8th seed, so they're right in the middle of the pack. Yeah.
They're
What
25
dare
and 9.
the
They're ninth
Badgers?
All right. So,
Hey,
Will,
man.
I don't know.
Midwest.
I like North Carolina, dude. It's a pretty state, so Duke.
So Duke.
Perfect.
That's good. That's fair. I picked Iowa State because they're usually pretty good. I want to pick Kansas.
Quite close.
For
but I hate-
Midwest?
I hate Kansas.
Are you
Yeah,
in
this is for
Mid-
Midwest. This is for
Midwest,
Midwest.
Iowa State, okay.
I mean,
Write this down.
last time I picked Iowa State to do well, they let me down pretty hard. So
Perfect. We're picking
I
Iowa
figure
State.
we're gonna pick Iowa State in hopes that they redeem themselves.
Fuck. The
All right.
West, please.
Yeah, who had the West? Was that Vinny?
I had the
Oh,
West.
that would be Christopher.
I'm
Chris.
going with Gonzaga, the number 1 seed in the West, because they only lost 1 game. Therefore, it should be a breeze for them. That's
Is-
my
the
thought.
underdog.
Is
South Dakota
Arizona-
State beats them.
ASU or U of A? Do you know? Probably U
What?
of A.
What?
Yeah,
Arizona
Arizona.
is
A is for Apple, Eric.
AU. I thought.
U of A.
Yeah, or U of A.
The Wildcats.
Yeah, didn't you go there, bro?
No, I mean I was going to, but then there's a counselor
Oh.
issue. That's all. That's a story for another time. Probably U of A. ASU
Fuck
is not very
Arizona.
good. That's all I know.
That
I,
is not March Madness talk.
I
What
did
happened
follow Arizona basketball for a while, so.
Okay, South. What are you gonna go with South?
Oh, that was Vance, Joey.
there? That is me. I said UCLA. I think
UCLA.
I've watched. Okay, so like I said, I don't know shit about basketball. I really don't know anything about basketball. But when it comes to March Madness, I have tuned in. And UCLA,
There we go.
from what I remember, does hold their own in the brackets. I'm feeling an upset, and I'm feeling all right about this pick. Not great, but I'm feeling all right.
Feeling good, feeling light. 2 a.m. summer night.
There's actually one game going on. Isn't there one game going on right now? I think.
The Mount St. Mary's versus New Orleans finished at 67 to 66.
Wow.
Kansas
Damn.
State is playing Wake Forest right now. Today is
Oh,
also
well.
March 14th as of recording, to give you all a point of reference.
I forgot that
So
Kansas State.
we'll come back. We're gonna come back around.
Well, no. Let's look
April
at the
1st.
championship.
Championship's April 3rd. Who do you guys
Yeah.
think is going to win it all?
Yeah. Why don't we go? Why don't we make
Each
a case for our
person.
teams to make it to the championship?
Okay.
Okay, who wants to start?
We'll just go back in division order. So East
versus West. So Eric,
wait, hang on.
So
Well, question.
East versus.
Is
Yeah.
this from our Final Four picks?
Yeah,
'Cause, like
these are
we
from
all
our
didn't
Final-
pick. We didn't pick our own separate Final Fours. Like I think my Final Four would
True.
be different.
well, yeah,
Well,
no,
we'll
this
just
is
pick our
just this
team
is just
that
a
we-
Just
collective
who
one.
we think's gonna win it all.
Yeah, we're just gonna make a case for why we believe our team should be in the final, and then we'll vote on it.
But maybe I don't think Iowa State should win.
Well then, shit,
picked the wrong
UCLA's in.
pick the wrong team then.
That's
Will.
right.
Maybe I
So
wanted
I-
a team from the West Division to win it all.
Oh, well, that's why we vote.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
All right,
So
Eric.
we can pick any team. Is that what you're saying, or we're just picking?
Yeah, pick any team.
From
Doesn't
our
have to
fi-
be your
from-
division. Doesn't have to be your division. Pick any team.
Oh yeah, pick any team
Oh,
from our final four.
Or any
okay.
team from our
So
Doesn't have
I
to
guess.
be the Final Four.
Yes.
Dude, honestly, Duke is a safe bet.
Well, I would
probably
say
the same
Duke the
bet.
championship, but I think Duke will play either Butler or Kentucky in the championship game, and I think Kentucky will upset Duke in the championship.
Wait, where in our final four is Kentucky?
Kentucky doesn't
Oh,
have
wait,
to be
I had
in
to pick
there.
out of.
Kentucky's just good AF.
Oh,
No,
Eric picked-
no. I said because our Final Four is not really like a full. It's who, like
Oh, you know what? Fuck that. Let's just do our own Final Four, and we'll pick
that
who
just makes
wins.
more sense.
Let's just do that. So I think Duke's gonna. I think it's gonna be Duke versus UCLA, and I think Duke will beat UCLA.
Okay.
It's a good pick.
Only because fuck you, Vinny, and I like Duke.
Dude, I'll agree with
although
that.
although I will agree, Chris, with Gonzaga.
I'm
That's
gonna
a
go
fair pick.
Gonzaga versus Iowa State just to see Iowa State there and then get demolished.
That'll
That would be-
probably happen. That's pretty realistic, I'd say.
Yep, Gonzaga wins it.
Well,
Uh,
there you have it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go U of A plays Kansas in the championship with Kansas only winning by a little bit.
oh, I thought we were still picking our Final Four.
That's my championship. I just picked the championship.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Okay,
well, then I
whatever.
want to change mine then. I don't want to.
No.
No, Eric, you're not changing. You're just locked in.
All right, I'll just
You
keep
got
mine.
Duke and
It's not-
UCLA. That's your
Yep.
pick.
Fuck you, UCLA. That's why. Stupid pick, Vinny. It's a stupid pick.
You're
Oh.
wrong.
Well,
ahead,
I didn't
Noah.
call anybody else's pick out, Eric. So
You know what? Because I want you to be the fucking first place of the losers. I want you to get all the way to the end and lose. I
It
wanna-
sounds
I
like.
I
sounds
want
like
to see. Yeah, I want to see a straight fucking Atlanta Falcons over here, dude. Just
Choke City. It sounds
No,
like
that
I'm
happens. If
I'm
that
the
happens,
plum in the
dude,
bag.
yeah.
You get plum.
If that happens, I will fucking. I don't know what I'll do. I'll do something crazy.
You'll tattoo Falcon emblem on your ass, and
I will. I'll tattoo UCLA's mascot on my ass or something.
You heard it
No
here, folks.
way.
Eric's gonna get
You
the
heard it
UCLA.
here.
I
I
heard
don't know
it
what the
here.
mascot is. Gonna look
If they
that
get
up
to the
real
Final Four, dude.
Bruins.
If they get to the Final Four,
Four,
you'll
quick.
do
Bear,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
They're the Bruins, UCLA
All
Bruins.
right,
so-
Eric, you're gonna get a big old teddy bear with a blue jersey tattooed on your ass if they win.
But don't worry,
Okay.
he's a hockey Bruins fan too, so it'd be perfect for him.
Oh,
Yeah, but
if
it's
they
gonna
win.
say UCLA on it.
Yeah, it's gonna be UCLA Bruin, not Boston Bruin.
You heard it here, folks. Check back April 5th for Eric's tattooed ass.
we'll do a podcast for it, or we'll video it or something.
We'll live stream Eric getting tattooed.
Live stream on Facebook. Check it out at averagepodcast.com slash
You mean
facebook.com.
facebook.com/everpodcast? We don't have our own
Oh,
website
sorry.
yet.
Whatever website that is, go to it.
Go to averagepodcast.com/Facebook and see what happens.
All right, Vinny, who do you have for
Vinny,
the
what's your
championship?
champ?
Get back on.
I said way earlier after Eric said his, I agreed because Duke. I just agree with it. Duke over
Yeah.
UCLA.
You
Oh,
think
yeah.
the championship's gonna be?
Because he
Duke
also
versus
wants to
UCLA?
see me get
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
He wants to see that.
Well,
tattoo.
out of
I
our
want to
out
change
of
mine to UCLA now because I want them to win.
just for Eric's butt tattoo.
I just want the butt tattoo. I think it'd be funny.
But there's a butt tattoo involved.
Well,
I
if
want
UCLA wins, then I'm not getting it.
You
Yeah.
just said if they.
Oh, I thought they got to the championship and lost.
Oh, if they get to
Actually,
the
you know what?
championship and
All right,
lose.
It doesn't
and
matter
get
if they win
tattoo.
or lose. If they get there, I'll do it. How about that?
All right.
if they get to the championship, correct?
Yeah. If they don't have to win or lose it, I don't care. As long as they
All
get.
right.
This could
Cool.
be the greatest March Madness of all time, folks.
Hey, you heard it here first, guys.
The average podcast. Perfect.
So,
All right.
Guess on
what
the
else we're
topic
talking about
of
is
crazy fun time parties. That'll lead us right into
St. Patty's Day.
the God damn it, Chris.
Oh, dude, we're
the
still
roast of the week.
the roast of the week, dude.
It's that time of the weekend, boys, where we
Roast of the week. All right, and welcome back to the roast of the week. This week's roast is going to be drunk driving. You know what? You hate it. They talk about it in high school. Chris, go ahead.
So, what was it? Last weekend or no? 2 weekends ago, I was sitting up in my friend's house. I was just laying down, and I heard this loud bang, and I thought, oh, someone fell down the stairs because people were drinking and everything. And it turns out that there was a car that careened into my car and put $9,000 worth of damage into it. And I mean, I have a decently nice car. And he was drunk, texting, and speeding. And yeah, I mean, just the worst combination of things you could be. And he got arrested for DUI and towed. And this is like my personal story with drunk driving as of late. And I hate it. I'm
Well-
without a car.
We're just happy that you were in the car.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wasn't in the car.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay for anything, but it just sucks that I lost my car for this amount of time.
Yeah, because drunk driving is we're more on a serious topic now, but it's pretty fucked up.
Just don't do it.
Including with St. Patrick's Day on Friday,
Yeah, in lieu of St. Patrick's Day being this Friday, ladies and gentlemen, we just want a public announcement here. Don't be a fucking idiot. Get an Uber.
Sober drivers, Ubers, something.
God,
Yeah.
use
And-
Lyft. It sucks, but like it's better than killing someone.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a
I mean-
$10,000 fine
Is it?
for a DUI now.
Yeah, or you could pay $10 in an Uber, or do you want to pay $10,000 in fines
about it.
and not to come with the court fees and all the shit that you're gonna have to go through
insurance.
trying to get a license? Yeah. Oh
Mhm.
yeah. For getting a
This guy's-
job.
losing your license for however long. Yeah, especially if you're underage. Like if you're underage,
Definitely.
I mean, you really shouldn't be drinking to begin with, but like obviously we can't be like standing
Yeah,
up at a
don't.
pedestal and be like, "Don't drink, little kids. It's bad for you."
I think that
Don't-
makes kids drink even more. To be honest with you.
like,
It really
don't be
does.
stupid about it. Like any holiday that's like kind of a big party all day. 4th of July, I was almost hit at an intersection because there were a bunch of high schoolers who were clearly drunk driving the car.
Jesus
Really?
Christ.
Yeah, I called the cops and I gave them the license plate and I was like, da da da, they're heading this way. But like, is it worth it? Is it worth it?
They say
Kill yourself.
they
and maybe
say
others?
they say 3 in every 10 Americans will be involved in alcohol-related collisions at some point in their life. Isn't that crazy?
Wow. Holy shit.
That's hot.
Yeah, I mean, that is crazy. I mean, and our hometown too, dude, is, I mean, just in the
Notorious
past
for
couple of
this.
years, we've lost, I mean, we've either known
A
someone who's
lot,
gone
bro.
home drunk or we've lost, kids our
Right.
age to either being in an accident involved a drunk driver, It's
That has
terrible.
to do with the fact that we're, like you said, where we're from, because everybody's like, "Oh, it doesn't happen," but you
Yeah.
know, and it does.
You gotta
you know,
wonder
at
how
times-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Eric.
I'm just saying, like, times are so much different now. Like cars, man, they're not safe. They're not designed to. I mean, now they're designed more to protect you. But I mean, if you're drunk, I mean,
Well,
could
you're
not
more
be wearing
likely to
seatbelt.
kill the other person, and that's the problem.
Exactly. That's the other thing too. I mean, let alone yourself, you could put other people's life in danger.
Yeah, whether you like it or not, you're basically a murderer at that point. You knowingly going in the car and driving is the chance of
Right.
you killing and hitting and killing another person is so high. Like
Mhm.
you wouldn't normally want to do that. No one like goes out there. I
No.
mean, unless they're like a psychopath, but like you don't go out of your way and go, yeah, today I'm gonna get drunk, drive a car, and kill someone. Like, come on.
Yeah,
I
it's-
mean, that guy,
It's-
he was like, what, 23 or 24, and I don't think, he was like, oh,
Which
I'm going
guy?
to get this. The guy that hit my car. I don't think
Okay.
he was like planning on this happening, but still, the fact that he did it, and he's going to be like almost uninsurable for like the next, 8 years or so.
If he gets
Got
a license
arrested.
back, I mean, he was
Yeah,
he was
got
texting
towed.
too. On top of that, right?
Which is even, and he admitted texting to me, which was like the
Damn.
dumbest thing. Like, why would you admit, because no one like witnessly saw it. him do it. He's just like, yeah, I was texting on my phone, but he was so drunk, he had no idea what he was saying to me. And I was like,
How do you
serious?
get out of your
Holy
car
shit.
after hitting someone and be like, yeah, man, sorry, I'm trash and I was texting. That was my B.
Well, he shook my hand. He goes, is this your car? I go, yeah. He goes, I'm so sorry. We don't need to get insurance involved except this handshake. And I'm like, what?
You're like, oh no.
Are you
Oh
kidding?
no, we do.
I'm not kidding. That's exactly what he said to me.
That's balls. I'll give him that. That's hella balls. Hey man, I'm trash as fuck and I was texting, but like, this is fine, right?
Dude, and that's the thing. Like, people, this is so moronic. I mean, at college, I deal with this literally all the time. Not drunk driving, but people who just lose sense of common sense, anything. They're like, oh, dude, I'm fine. Like, I'm not drunk. And they're blacked out or like severely intoxicated. Like, dude, I can do anything. If I jump off this roof, I'll be fucking fine. And that's the mentality people have when they're hammered. Like, if I do this, it's not going to. Yeah, they're like, it's not going to affect me. I'll be totally fine. And then they hop in a car and crash into a fucking tree like 5 minutes later. It's so fucked up. Because people, you know, they'll hit a bend at like 40 miles an hour, right? Like, you know what I mean? And it's to them, they don't realize it's a sharp turn, and they're fucked. You lose all sense of everything. Motor skills, common sense, just self-awareness. Anything. It's so stupid.
It's becoming more and more police too, I feel like now, because I tell you, like, I've heard stories, man. I'd say like 20, 15 years ago, cops would just lock your keys in your car, whatever, let you pass out. It wasn't as enforced as it is now, because it's becoming more and more of an issue because people are starting to actually go out and kill people, and then they're like, okay, well, you know, we should probably change up our policy here about it. And
like the younger, it's like our generation and the people below us that are like,
exactly,
you don't give a shit. There are roadblocks all around our school now, like, or not our school, all around our town on like heavy drinking nights.
Holidays.
Yeah,
right.
You have to pass through a road check.
Road stops, road checks.
And that's good. I think it's a really good thing.
That's really good, yeah.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's some sort of risk management kind of a thing, mitigate the risk. We have a bunch of checkpoints at school, so like if it's a big holiday, we have something at school called Around the World, and that's like one of the biggest bar days at my school. And they set up checkpoints literally with 3 blocks of every direction of the fucking bar, and make sure if you're going to get your buddies or leave the bar that you're good to go.
I read a study here, and it says offenders, you know, of DWI or DUI, offenders who begin drinking at an earlier age for thrills and fun are more likely to be, you know, the
perpetrator.
The perpetrator of a DWI, driving while intoxicated, because it makes sense. It's like people who, like you said, Vinny, think they're invincible, or I feel like older people, they have more. I wouldn't say they're, you know, we can handle a certain amount of alcohol or no, but they're more mature. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Knowing how to handle yourself.
Yeah, you look at like, well, I think, and they also like you look at like places like Europe or Italy where you can drink as young as 12 in your house. And I think it's not like you can kind of get
another
people...
topic though. That's another topic. That's drinking age now we're talking about.
That's true. But we're kind of leaning into that with you know, the drinking for thrills.
Exactly.
But I mean, it coincides with one another because it teaches you at a young age to respect that. So when you're older, you don't make reckless decisions.
That's
like
why
being an asshole and going out drunk driving.
Right. That's why some people think that they should either lower the drinking age or higher the driving age, because there's too big of a gap there between 16 and 21 where people will they'll be, you know, I mean, they'll start driving at 16, and then when they turn 21, they'll be like, well, I've been driving for so long and I'm a really good driver, I haven't got to an accident, I should be able to drink and drive. Like, no, that's some of the people think that. So if you lower the drinking age, say to 18, you know, I'm not saying they should, but
them, you know, do like 16, you can drink beer and wine, and then
21 drive.
21, well, no, 21 you can like have it, like parse it out. So like 16, you can have beer and wine, you know, not the harder alcohols.
Right.
And then, you know, 18 you start learning to drive, and then 20 you can get hard liquor, vodka, scotch.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense
all
too.
That stuff.
Because it's true, when our brains aren't fully developed, man, and that's not until we're 18. So Why
even
start?
older than that.
It's
Yeah, maybe even older than
25
that.
Your
-ish.
brain stops developing for
And
when
you
you're
put
25.
alcohol. You put alcohol in your body at that young of an age. That's your thing. Like then you're. Yeah, it's a whole other topic with the drinking age,
That's
but
true.
that
Yeah.
does. You're right. It does relate to the drinking and driving because it is a serious issue. And I mean, I personally, I'm sure all four of us have known somebody who's been involved with either in that situation or being involved. Like Chris, just literally like
Chris was
a week ago.
literally hit.
I mean,
by a
yeah,
drunk
he
driver.
wasn't-
Yeah, it was like last weekend.
At least he wasn't physically himself
In the
hurt.
car.
Involved,
Yeah.
but
But
it's
you know, it's
property.
it's still a burden to go through.
Yeah, I mean, we hear about it all the time with people that we know from our high schools or whatever that get involved and
That's the scary part is that no one thinks it's going to happen to them.
Yep.
So
And see, when you get the mentality of that and times it by fucking,
15
millions
beers.
of minds. No, not even that. The millions of minds who want to go do it.
Yeah.
Everyone's an invincible drunk driver. It's
Right.
it's just reckless decisions, man.
Yeah, we can't all be invincible.
It's true.
Yeah. And it helps to have really a good parents who have core ethics too and believe that if
Teaching your
parents-
kids the right way.
right some parents will sometimes I've known parents that they've had a few drinks or whatever and then they drive home or it's like how could a kid sees that and they think okay well my parents can do it then I can do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's totally true. I mean, it's respect. And adults they've been drinking for a while too, right?
It's the other
So
thing. Yeah, they've been
2 or
they're
3
much-
beers to them, getting in a car is not a big deal because your BAC at that point is probably not over a 0.08, right? Someone else sees that and that's a reflection. Well, my BAC,
Well,
even though it's under 0.08, alcohol still alters you differently. So
And-
3 beers can get nothing, and someone else could be kind of buzzed or tipsy.
well,
you know
usually,
what I mean?
when you go out with your parents, you go out to dinner, you're there for like 2 or 3 hours. You don't
Yeah.
have like 3 glasses of wine. You don't pound 3 glasses of wine. You
Right.
have
Yeah.
like
you sip
3
And you
that you
eat.
sip over the course of the meal. Most of the
And
time,
we're
when
not-
kids go out drunk driving, it's like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm gonna pound 5
This
beers.
fucking water bottle of vodka, and then I'll be okay.
That's the grossest thing to me. Is people who like bring
Yeah.
vodka in a
That
water
was-
bottle.
That was such a high school thing,
That
though. I
was.
mean,
That was how you
that's
snuck it around.
like
We're
I
not-
was from my parents' cabinet.
we're not advocating drinking and driving by all means but
Yeah,
like
we're
we said
pretty
if
Be
you
firmly
responsible.
against
Just
it. Yes.
be responsible
Respect the
is when
drink.
it comes down to it. Yeah, I mean,
and Chris you probably have more stories too because your dad is also in law
oh, I
enforcement,
mean,
so-
yeah. His I think one of his first days on the job, I think it was a second or third. He came into a drunk driving accident, and the guy was he died on the scene, and my dad had to sit there and watch him die.
All right.
So, yeah, so I mean, it happens a lot, and it just because, like you guys said earlier, just because you don't think it's gonna happen to you doesn't mean that someone might not careen off the road because they're drunk and hit you. Like, oh, I won't do it. Doesn't matter. There's other people out there that will do it, and it is a legitimate problem.
Mhm.
And it doesn't even matter if it's alcohol. It's just driving under the influence of like almost anything at this point in life.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
Yeah.
Right,
We've been
so-
focusing on the alcohol, but you could be like on opiates or fuck.
Right, that's
For
why-
all of our Colorado and California listeners, don't get high and drive. Thank you.
That's why the DWIs are a little bit more.
Yeah, now it's
they're-
like
they're
now
more-
it's DWI.
DUI is less of a crime, I think. Too.
Well, no,
some people
actually-
some people can say they have a prescription. You know what I mean? Because like you said, weed is legal in some states, and or say a pill, or antidepressant or something, and that could
Antidepressant's not
technically
gonna
be.
do that to you though. The weed,
Yeah, if
weed
you-
you're not supposed to drive. It's the same as
But-
alcohol. You're not supposed to drive while you're high.
Right, that's true. But I mean,
If you
I'm saying
smoke
is
some
if you're
fucking blue
prescribed-
dream, dude, you're fucked up. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be way too stoned to even get behind the wheel.
Yeah.
It's just as bad.
I don't partake in weed.
The average
I don't-
podcast
I
would
don't-
like to announce that we not
We don't-
endorse
We don't endorse.
getting hella high.
Yeah.
Please don't get
We-
high and go to Taco Bell. You'll waste all your money.
We chase strange not memes.
But if you want to listen to us, we're not going to stop you.
We're not gonna stop you. If you enjoy
Just-
a marijuana cigarette, as my business teacher put it, in the comfort of your
Funny
own
sticks.
home, that's okay.
Yeah.
Did you say
So we're
funny
gonna just-
sticks?
funny sticks are You never heard that?
I thought that was that thing that like it's like a candy and you like dip it into like sugar and stuff like that.
It's fun dip, dude.
Oh, don't do fun dip, kids,
Don't do fun
Nothing
dip.
fun
We'll have a
about
sugar
dip.
high.
unless you're high.
All right, so we're gonna give that plum to the
To that drunk driver that hit my car. That's what I'm gonna plumb to.
Give a
I'm gonna
plum
try-
to anyone who anyone this
That too.
weekend
Yeah.
who decides to go partake in St. Patty's Day and then take the risk of driving while drunk.
Just throw a plum at the car.
Hit them with a.
I'm
Probably
all-
don't do that if they're drunk. You're gonna fuck up everyone.
Hey man, I'm all
put it in
I'm all
their car.
fun. I'm all for fun and fucking drinking and getting fucked up. Just be smart about it.
Just
If
be
you drunk drive
responsible.
this weekend, please send us your address so we can mail you gross
Plums.
plums. Thank you.
Yeah. We'll find you.
We'll find you and we'll plum you.
We'll throw plums at your car so you can't fucking drive.
We'll put them on the grill and put them in your back of your car.
Put
We're all good.
plums
There we
in
go.
your tailpipe. Ruin your whole vehicle. You deserved it.
All right, so we're gonna
Alright.
take a little break here.
And then we'll be back with topic 3. Welcome back from the break. Our next and final topic will be the CIA leaks, also known as Vault 7. These are leaks from the infamous, I guess you'd say, site WikiLeaks, which has been known to leak confidential documents pretty much on everything and anything. Vinny, do you want to explain what these leaks are about?
Yeah, sure. So basically, all this paranoia that the CIA or Big Brother's watching you is apparently true. The short-term analysis of it was that they had reviewed that the CIA was targeting people via their iPhones, Androids, smart TVs, through their computers with malware and stuff like that. And so all this paranoia that people had is pretty much true. And it was proven through a bunch of documents that they found, and there was a bunch of validity behind it. So,
Eric, do you have a question?
I got a question.
sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, why do people trust WikiLeaks?
Because they have the
I just want to know. I just want to know what validates
Their
the WikiLeaks
credibility?
information.
credibility.
Like, I'm not saying it's false or anything. I just want to know.
It stems from oh my god, I'm totally blanking on his name.
This is he's just a hacker.
The guy who leaked all the NSA documents.
Was it Edward Snowden?
Yes, that is the name. I could only think
Okay,
of
I did.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt because he played him in the movie. I'm sorry.
Right.
Oh my God, Commissioner Gordon.
You don't
No, that's Gotham one.
you don't think it has anything to do with the political
Well, not everything they leak
Situation.
is political. There is some stuff. But
you don't
like,
think it's Go ahead.
are you trying to say is this like an alt right or like a liberal left kind of?
Right. I mean like I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it could have been just released at a certain time where maybe it was released during a certain just because of that whole situation with Russia that just happened with Trump.
Well, he also did all the stuff against Hillary Clinton and the DNC as well.
Right. But they said, well, what happened was the Attorney General lied and said under oath that he didn't,
Yeah.
that they never contacted Russia, but it turned out they did.
Yeah.
So they used Russia. That wasn't WikiLeaks, was that? Or
That wasn't WikiLeaks. That was
okay.
CIA. There was stuff about there's stuff in here about people essentially I don't know how to say US officials contacting Russia about stuff like this. Well, actually, it was US officials using VPNs in other in
Whoa,
in
wow.
Russia. Sorry, I'm trying to think. There's a lot going on.
I just want to know because I mean, listen. I'm not doubting anything. I'm just trying to like give the listeners a little taste of, you know, like
little taste of what? Sorry, there is an issue going on in our chat right now. Vinny, you're thinking of Gary Oldman, who plays Commissioner Gordon in The Dark Knight. Anyway, moving on from that because that was bothering me.
that was bothering me. But I'm just I'm just
That's
trying
what the
to say.
podcast is about. Is just shit
I'm just trying to not laugh about it, but
You're
Come
trying
back.
so hard.
come on.
All right, everyone, come
So-
back. I'm so sorry. I definitely thought. All right, I was trying to
my
stay
God.
quiet about it. Back
Vinny
on
fucked up.
topic. I
Vinny
fucked up.
fucked up.
I
I've been
goofed.
laughing
I-
this whole time about it. I can't breathe.
But my thing is just I don't get why like okay so they why do they it's hard it almost feels like it's very left-sided and they're just trying to make the one side of the party look bad, like the CIA. They're trying to make them explain the CIA leaks, you know what I mean, to people who
Okay.
don't.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You
Well,
want me to go more in depth with it?
Like Vinny said,
Yeah.
with the CIA leaks, it's backdoors into phones, things called day
Vault 7.
zero breaks, which are
Yeah.
essentially ways into devices before they're technically even launched. So like before, like you get a hold of something pre-shipping date, like a phone, for example. Then you have a way into that phone or something you can do with that phone
Right.
before it's released to the general public. The things with smart TVs was called a false off, meaning that the specifically Samsung smart TVs, there isn't anything said about any other ones that I saw when I was reading it.
But it had nothing to do with the DNC or Clinton's emails being leaked, right?
No.
No.
No,
That was a previous that was back in election season.
During the election, right?
Correct.
I'm just trying to remember if
Yeah.
that had
No, you're
anything to do
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
correlated or anything.
What Will and I were pointing to the recent WikiLeaks. What just happened was what we were explaining
Vault
was that
7.
Vault 7, which, like I said, so people have this common paranoia. I would say a lot of people who you talk to, especially the older generation, that Big Brother's always watching. The government always knows what you're up to. And what they found was that was pretty much true. The CIA was doing things that would allow them to kind of spy on you without you knowing. So subliminally, they were going
Right.
through your phones, your TVs, pretty much anything that could connect to the internet. And they were using things like geolocation, audio, text, stuff like that, from the phone's camera and microphone. So
Right.
when you like go, say you download a new app, and it always asks you for permissions, right? It always asks you like permission to your location, your camera,
Text
your
messages.
gallery, shit like that, messages. Everyone always hits allow. Like no one's got that fucking fear. Like, oh, I need the app. Like, sure, right. So I'm not saying it's off of that, but that's like a pretty layman's like way to explain like how simple it is for them to do it with people not even knowing.
Right. It's an erosion of constitutional, like civil rights,
Freedom.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
basically.
freedom. Yeah.
However,
It's definitely
so
fucked up.
yes, so when we found that, and then they even do shit on like computers, so like Windows, Linux, Mac. They would do things that like software distributed on CDs or shit, and
It would come
It would be-
pre-packaged with essentially a way into.
yeah,
The
that it would
device.
just be like it
Okay.
would just be part of the program, and you wouldn't know it because it
But-
wasn't,
But it was the CIA that was behind it.
Yes, just to see
Right.
what people were up to without you worrying. Now, obviously, the motto goes: if you have nothing to hide, you're okay. Basically, if
Yeah,
you have
Terrible,
nothing to hide,
terrible
fine.
motto to live by the way.
Terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks. Well, a lot of people have this speculation about, if you're like Mark Zuckerberg has the, tape over his webcam, so they'll be like, okay, well, I'm not that important. Why would the CIA spy on me?
Doesn't matter.
Right, exactly. It
It's
doesn't
your
matter.
privacy.
Yeah,
Like,
if you live by that motto of I have nothing to hide, so why does it matter? You are literally inviting it to become a norm. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Right,
And-
like Vinny said, the allowing permission thing.
Well, not even that, but if you live by, that I don't do anything wrong, so it can't affect me. You're
Right.
basically saying to all your fellow Americans, well, just don't do anything wrong, and the government doesn't matter if the government's positive. Government shouldn't spy on you. And if I may
Right.
adjust my tinfoil hat here real quick, another big thing that came out of this is not just having the way into these devices. By the way, the case of the terrorist attack in California with the man who shot up and they tried to crack the phone. iPhones have one of the hardest to break cracks. There's not only a software lock but a physical lock on getting into your information. But the
Encryption.
FBI, obviously the FBI had a way to pay. They paid someone else to do it. The U.S. government has lost that information. Just so you're aware, it's now free and
Thank
open
God.
somewhere.
God.
So
Wow.
that's pretty bad. But the big thing
A
that
little
really
bit.
came out of this was not only are they spying on you, but they're selling to other countries the way
Yes.
that they
completely
do to
forgot.
spy it. Like there are documents and receipts from places like the UK, Germany, European countries that they bought a way into your phone. They the U.S. government is saying, "Hey, we can spy on our citizens. We'll sell you this so you can do it to yours." They're
here's
just
the thing.
spreading it.
Oh, here's the thing. Doesn't it kind of seem a little strange to you that the FBI couldn't even get into that person's phone? Doesn't that seem a little weird? The FBI the FBI is like, that's like second tier CIA shit right there, and they couldn't even get into this guy's iPhone.
It's made the phone is made to be that way.
Yeah,
Right,
it
so
does not
why-
surprise me.
So you're
It
saying
doesn't-
the CIA, but the CIA can do it, but the FBI can't.
No, they paid
Well-
a third-party person, and there are receipts also from the CIA paying third-party hackers to work for them and break these devices and stuff like that, create
Okay.
the
And what-
malware and everything.
So it's not really the CIA. Well, it's the CIA
The
people
CIA
to
is
hack.
essentially funding
hackers.
third-party hackers who are not
Okay.
really
Right, now-
regulated.
Right, that makes more sense now.
Yeah, and what Will and I, the point we're trying to cross is like your personal security should be your personal security, right?
Oh,
So
yeah,
the
for
reason
sure.
developers make your phone so hard to get into, especially like Mac has really good security and virus protection. That's the only thing I'll ever praise Mac with because I usually don't like their products, Apple.
Macs actually
Mac and
don't have
iPhones.
strong security. They lack the market share for it to be a viable hack.
Just kidding. Well, Will,
Just figured I'd let you
fucking
know.
thank you.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I
but
don't
my
believe
point,
you anymore, Vinny.
no, my point being
good.
that like you shouldn't. The reason only people should be allowed in their own shit is because we should only be allowed to access our things, not other people.
There's a basic
And
right
this
to
is-
privacy.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. And the fact that it's being violated. So, like, when this came out, WikiLeaks, CIA got pissed. Like, hey, now, that's our information, not your guys's. But it's so contradictory because they're going in our shit, but they get mad when everyone else found out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was
It's-
having this conversation about it with my dad, and he's in his 50s. So his big thing that he took away from it wasn't that the government has access to all your devices. It's that at what point shouldn't we have the information?
Exactly.
And I think we have a right to know what it's our government. The Declaration of Independence, Constitution. It's all, by the people for the people. And if the government's doing stuff that we don't agree with,
Right.
we should have a right to know that. Sure, there's
Well,
stuff
then-
like, obviously the nuclear launch codes that,
Right.
Common sense shit shouldn't be leaked, but like,
Well, then that shouldn't have been a reason why the Russia should have had a hack into Hillary's emails. You should just have released them if that's your point. And same with Trump's his taxes. Why hasn't he released his taxes at all? Like, we don't know what he pays for, and
because
He hasn't
doesn't pay
released
taxes,
that.
that's why he doesn't. That's why he
I
doesn't
know.
want to release them.
well, I know that, but I'm just saying if you're saying that if they're government working people, then you're right. Then they should.
But
It's for the people.
even though he is a president, he's still a private citizen, so he does have that
Right.
basic right to
Not for
privacy. Where
Hillary.
he shouldn't have to share his tax return. I mean, WikiLeaks
It's-
could
it's-
have their tax returns.
it's-
I don't know that.
It's muddy waters to me. It really is. I mean, I do agree. You're right. We should have privacy, but I
So
mean,
are you asking, like, I think I'm confused what you're meaning. Like, are
Well,
you
you brought up the-
comparing Hillary Clinton's email hack to Trump not releasing his tax returns?
well, yeah, because you're saying because everybody was asking for Hillary's emails and she never released them. They had to have Russia hack her email to read them.
I think they were released by WikiLeaks, which is
Okay, so they were released by WikiLeaks.
Yeah, it was WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks is assorted, essentially free agent journalists, or people who work within government agencies that release them.
Okay.
So, I mean, Hillary had a she had a right to protect.
So
her
that
privacy
brings up
of
my
not
first point.
using
Then
the-
don't you think WikiLeaks might be one-sided against the other? Don't you think like it has something political? There's some sort of political reason that they're doing this. You know what I mean? Or
You
is it just
mean
because they want
going
they just
against the liberals and then also going against the Republicans? Is that
Well, I don't know.
because they're not really one-sided?
It's just all information that they find viable for people. That this is what we should
Yeah.
know.
Their
As a
goal
common
is to just
citizen-
make government information make the citizens aware of what the government is doing. They don't care about party relations. Their goal they're basically they're like a true news, which is here's the information. You need to have it. It's like what Edward Snowden did, where his stuff
Right.
wasn't like against
Well, see, that's-
Obama
see,
or
that's
Bush.
my-
It was just here's the
that's my-
information.
Well, that's my fault because I don't really know that. I feel
Yeah,
like
that's no
not a
problem.
lot of people know. What
Oh yeah,
the hell
I
WikiLeaks
definitely
is,
think
and
people
that's
don't understand the full
that's what's scary.
weight of it. But I think I want to say our generation is more aware of it.
Right.
I know I've been talking a lot right now.
No,
A
it's
lot of the
Go on,
old,
man.
but I feel like a lot of the older generation, they're all paranoid. They've been paranoid for years about Big Brother.
Because they had the right to be paranoid. They knew what
I
was
mean,
going
yeah.
on. They knew the direction that this was going in. Like they've had it's more or less that we've kind of been to the point that it's ignorance is bliss kind of thing.
Yeah, we know it's
Like, we're-
happening, and
But we just kind of, it's like
Turning a
if
cheek.
someone's holding a gun to the back of your head, like but imagine if someone's always holding a gun to the back of your head. Do you just forget that someone's doing it? You know what I mean? After a while.
I would say it's more like a group of people are holding guns to your head, and you have the option of pretending it's not there and living your life, because as long as you don't
Recognize it.
As long as you don't push against the flow, nothing happens. Like I
Yeah.
said, if you're a good citizen, you have nothing to worry about.
That's
Exactly.
the concept, but
And if you're putting out all that information on online, then that's your own fault. You're
That's true.
burying your own grave at that point. If you really don't want people finding your personal shit, then why are you putting it on the internet?
and that's the thing though, because I personally have nothing to hide, but I don't like it that people can access my private conversations. I don't agree with that.
I just think the government is overstepping.
their boundary.
Yeah.
They always overstep their
That's
boundary.
true.
Let's be real here. I'm like, it's not the first time the CIA has ever done anything that's
controversial and
yeah,
wrong.
what was it, through the 70s, 80s, and part of the 90s, we started coups, overthrew governments, threw in dictators. I mean,
assassinated leaders and threw in our own dictator. Yeah,
Yeah,
shit's
seriously,
crazy.
the CIA, they're for the people, but are they really for the people?
No. They're for the
Exactly.
Who's to
government.
say? Who's to say?
It's true. I mean, you
I
can look
mean-
at past actions and kind of.
Here's my thing: if it's gonna get us, a step closer that will defend or protect us from another terrorist attack, then by all means.
Well,
But is
there's the
collecting
thing, though.
data on every single person in the country really gonna?
Yeah, but that's the thing: you don't know, man.
Well, here I do know
you really
is that
don't know.
foreign attacks on our foreign domestic attacks, I think it is, people from foreign nations,
They're
attacking us
extremely
domestically.
They're low.
Extremely
We
low.
have more domestic attackers.
yeah, like shootings and whatnot, and if they're trying to defend from that, sure, but man, we haven't been doing that hot of a job doing it.
Yeah, that comes with the technology side of
And
how we're still like progressing and because back like when you guys said assassinating like say JFK or something, they had no technology back then to maybe they did, we don't know, but they didn't have any way of stopping that, you know.
that was
So
more. That wasn't. Well, no one knows actually how that all went down. That's the thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of controversy.
There's theories that the
surrounding
CIA did it. There's ones that the Russian mob, the mob did it. The Russians
right,
did it.
conspiracy theories is what
Yeah,
they call it.
and there's a thing. It's like, man, we get all this data. We can eventually predict crime or prevent it from happening.
But couldn't you say
really
say
drown
this
episode
is
about
all?
that.
What?
I'm sorry, go ahead, Bill.
There's a Futurama episode about a crime predicting robot.
If you ever seen the movie Minority Report, it's a
Doesn't
perfect
work.
example. It's because it's not guilty before proven innocent. It's innocent before proven guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Couldn't you
And-
say that what this whole they're looking over us and Big Brother is watching us? Couldn't you just say that's one big conspiracy itself?
It's not a conspiracy anymore.
Yeah, it's no longer a conspiracy. Now it's
Because
It's fact. It's
Now
business.
it's
WikiLeaks.
factual. Yes. Now it
been
is
faxed out
factual.
twice, but it just proves that there's now it's like
Privacy
Vault
is
7
dead.
coming out. Yeah,
Yeah.
Vault 7 really just showed that there are more ways than we think. Like we just think it was just cell phones, and maybe now, well, Alexa, the Amazon talking,
I saw that.
obviously, yeah. But now we know it's these smart TVs have this fake off feature
Yeah.
that
It's called
listens
Weeping
into your
Angel. In case you
Yeah,
don't know
Weeping
already.
Angel. What? And that's the thing, like things that you don't realize. These little
Right.
technological features that they're putting in places, and they're paying corporations like Samsung, and they're getting these features to really hone in on spying without being detected, and it's a problem.
Another one
Right.
we didn't talk about actually is infecting vehicle control systems,
That's massive, and
which
that's
is
so scary.
Oh yeah,
basically
They're-
allows
they're
them to
tapping into Ford.
Hack
Isn't
the
it
car.
Ford?
It's
Is it
any,
Doesn't
Ford?
matter.
it's just
Any vehicle.
Any-
vehicle control system to
The newer
basic-
cars they're doing it with.
Yes.
I
so
think
Gotta be
it's
a newer car.
Yeah, it started
it's
as
newer
of 2014.
2014.
I think 2010 cars are like open to the attack, but basically it allows them to fake a car crash, undetectable assassination.
Mhm.
yeah.
No
I mean,
way.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Definitely.
last
I didn't read that.
election season, we saw a lot of weird stuff. People died, and I mean, now we're hitting conspiracies territory. But a lot of people suddenly died in weird ways, and
Like Princess Diana, man.
oh,
Was her vehicle? Oh my
okay
God.
then, Chris. All right.
No, but
Shit.
he's got a point. It is true. That is a very scary thing, and it's something that we're buying these new cars, and not just the government, but imagine if someone else gets their hands on this kind of technology, which is bound to happen.
Yeah, that's the big
it's like
thing. is
technology before it.
the people who
you're
don't
just driving.
want to just spy.
Yeah, they want to cause malicious harm,
Right.
and that's a scary thing. That's kind of where we're at right now
Yeah,
with a lot of
what
this stuff.
if it gets in the hands of the everyday person, and then you can, I mean, a lot of kids have smartphones. What if, some strange adult?
This person's bullying me, and they're driving home, turn off their car, they don't hit the brakes,
True.
their whole thing,
Yeah.
boom, dead.
Lock the brake system, get everything's computer controlled.
Well, hopefully, somebody out there will be able to enhance the encryption. I feel like because
No, I honestly don't feel like that will happen. I mean,
I think security will improve.
I think it'd be fixed.
Well, it'll
It's not
improve,
easy.
but it won't. It'll take a while. Like
Apple,
but-
you know what? Apple is Steve Wozniak
Oh,
is
yeah,
very, very much
they're-
against giving
yeah.
the government the
Oh,
ability
yeah,
to
no,
break
that is
people's
true.
iPhones. I think
They wouldn't even have that for the FBI. They would never give them. They asked and asked for
they
so
tried
long
to
with that guy.
subpoena them, and the court said they don't have to do it. So I think,
Right.
I think
Even though the guy was a fucking terrorist, they still said no. Because then, if somebody got their hands
it
on
sets a
that,
precedent.
right? It doesn't matter if it's for that one guy, but we don't want that ability. That's the problem. Is
We
there
don't
can't
want that
be,
to fall
there,
in the wrong hands, and now it's open and available on the internet.
but the thing is, there shouldn't even be a way to get. There shouldn't even be a hole that they can go through and find that information.
Well, I mean, that comes to human error. There's always going to be, unless you have computers writing codes, and then you get into it. That's
also-
a whole fucking
but,
another
you
show.
know,
That's
Mr. Robot.
that's another show.
But yeah, but if you're preventing terrorist attacks, there's holes there for a reason. And I mean, they're built for reasons. Let's be real.
Yeah.
It's a lot of gray
To be-
areas.
To be quite
It's-
honest,
Muddy water.
sorry.
Go ahead, Vincent.
Yeah.
To be quite honest with you, like internet security and things like that is relatively new because when the internet was implemented, they really didn't think about adding security features and shit like that to it. You know?
Yeah. The
They
internet, we
didn't
know,
assume-
really only started about 15 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
so
fairly new.
you say that security isn't going to be or the security is not going to be good, but it's a growing industry and field.
Well, I'm saying
People
is that
ensuring safety and shit.
Yeah.
it's not growing as
Thank you.
fast as the technology to already get around it. You know what I'm saying? Like
I guess. Oh, okay.
the
I
malicious
understand.
technology
I can see
currently
that.
is ahead of its time before the security can catch up. It's going to be a
Yeah, that's
really long going battle before
that's the 0 days. and
security
stuff
is
like
over.
that.
Yeah, so I mean,
But you're always gonna have that group of people that wants to, you know, whether for fun or for mischief, whatever, wants to get into people's
yeah.
devices. They made a bunch. They made games. Made a video game about it called Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
Don't play that
Well-
one. Play Watch Dogs 2. Anyway,
Watch Dogs 2 is
sorry,
what
Eric.
one
Go
shot.
ahead.
No, I have nothing really else to add. I'm not trying to. I didn't want to act like I was playing, devil's
No,
advocate.
no, you're fine.
I get ya.
Or saying that it's totally wrong. I do agree we should have our own privacy. I was just,
Mhm.
know,
No, I
trying
get
to get a
you.
better
No,
understanding.
you gotta play the other side. Someone has to play the
Right.
other side of the coin. It makes sense.
Right. Oh yeah,
All
but
right.
I definitely agree with you guys on that side
Yeah.
of things too. Like, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
like it's fucked up. It's scary. I don't want to be like, oh well, I don't want to have that paranoia because everybody.
Yeah,
I
you
feel
don't
like,
want to
is
live
like,
in the fear.
right.
Just party.
You want to act like it doesn't happen, but you know what? The sad, scary truth is it actually
It
is
happens.
That
Yeah.
it does.
Some
So-
parting words of wisdom, man. When you're on Facebook and it tells you it needs your information to log into a fucking quiz, don't log in to take the quiz.
Also, change your passwords and everything. Don't have
Change your
the same
passwords
password.
regularly. It's about length, not about complexity. Always remember that.
Yeah,
It sounds stupid, but it's true.
should probably start
length and
getting that.
complexity, huh?
No. The more complex, like if you add like exclamation marks and shit like that, but it's only 6 characters long, it'll be broken in no time. You want
Yeah,
something
make
that's
a-
like ideally like 20 characters, but honestly like no one's gonna. If you have a 20
Yeah,
character
that's-
password, you're probably writing it
Like a
down and
sentence.
you defeat the
Like a
point.
sentence.
How now, brown cow 01.
And if you're gonna take Facebook quizzes, maybe don't. That's it. Just don't take them. They're annoying, and no one cares what Disney princess you are. I'm sorry. No one cares what city you belong in. You live in
Well-
one already. Get over it.
Get over it.
Perfect.
Well, to the closing words from Melon, what do you got for us?
Melon's words of wisdom.
Oh, Melon's
Yeah.
words of wisdom. Give me. I gotta pull it up. 1 second, everybody.
I thought you were prepared.
Everybody,
Sorry.
we'll take this time right here to say have a great
St. Patrick's Day?
St. Patrick's Day.
Have a
Don't-
safe and happy.
Don't be a
St. Patty's
fucking
Day.
plum.
Yep, don't be a plum.
Be the plum. We will send you a fucking plum, I swear to God. All right, Melon's words of wisdom. Be as wise as a refrigerator.
There you go.
Perfect.
And with that, that concludes this episode. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook. Leave a like. Follow us on Twitter. We are on iTunes and Google Play Store. Please leave a rate. If you're going to leave 5 stars, awesome.
Yes.
Anything less, don't. There's no
Fuck you.
point.
I'll
Do
take
something else
4.
with your time. We'll
I'll
take
take
And
4.
SoundCloud.
Get
We'll
us
take a 4.
trending.
We're also on
Get us
SoundCloud.
top 10
Cool.
podcasts right now,
Get
dude.
us,
Let's
get
do
us
it.
trending. Hashtag Plumcast.
Okay,
Yes.
Cool.
All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your week.